Have you ever felt uncomfortable, as if something was stuck inside you, making your day slower and heavier? For up to 20% of people, this discomfort has a name: constipation. But what exactly is constipation, and why does it affect so many people? Hello, health enthusiasts! In this video, we'll talk about how two key nutrients, thiamine and magnesium, can finally put an end to constipation. I know it sounds too good to be true, but stay with me because science backs this up. Imagine going days without having a bowel movement. Not only does the feeling of lightness disappear, but you start to feel bloated, that persistent discomfort, as if something is out of place. And the stool? Dry, hard, and difficult to pass. Every trip to the bathroom feels like a lost battle, leaving an annoying feeling that something is still missing. Relief that never quite arrives. Have you ever found yourself in this situation? What happens to the body to slow everything down like this? And more importantly, what are we doing wrong that leads us into this cycle of discomfort and sluggishness? What most people don't realize is that constipation isn't just about having fewer than 3 bowel movements per week. It changes how you feel throughout the day. Energy drops, mood shifts, and every daily task becomes more tiring, as if the body is moving in slow motion. Now, when we think of constipation, the first thing that comes to mind is, I need more fiber, right? But is it really that simple? There's a big myth about the relationship between fiber and constipation, and you've probably heard it before. However, the truth is more complex than just eating more fiber to solve the problem. Did you know that a lack of fiber isn't actually the root cause of constipation? This surprises many people. Fiber is important, of course, but the type of fiber you consume is the real secret. Have you heard of soluble and insoluble fiber? They work in completely different ways in our body. Soluble fiber, for example, dissolves in water, forming a gel-like substance. It slows down digestion, which can be beneficial in some cases, but it's not always the solution your gut needs. Meanwhile, insoluble fiber, the kind that passes through the digestive system mostly intact, just adds bulk to the stool without being truly digested. So, the question is, are we focusing on the right type of fiber? Are we looking for a magical solution when, in reality, the key is in balance and understanding how these fibers work in our body? It seems simple, but the truth is that many of us are consuming fiber in the wrong way. But if a lack of fiber isn't the real culprit, then what's behind the constipation that affects so many people? The answer might surprise you. What's really at play here are nutritional deficiencies. That's right. The problem might be much deeper than simply what we eat, but rather what our body is able to absorb and use. Did you know that the movement that pushes stool through the intestines, called peristalsis, directly depends on essential nutrients for the proper functioning of nerves and muscles? Think of the intestines as a long strip of muscles that need to work in perfect sync to move waste through the body. And for this to happen, the body needs two main allies: thiamine, or vitamin B1, and magnesium. These two nutrients play crucial roles. Thiamine is essential for communication between nerves and muscles, ensuring the right signal is sent to the intestines to do their job. Without it, the system simply doesn't work efficiently. Where thiamine falls short, magnesium steps in. It helps with the contraction and relaxation of the intestinal muscles, keeping the digestive process flowing naturally. But what happens when our body doesn't have enough of these substances? Constipation occurs. Even if you consume fiber or maintain a seemingly balanced diet, if these deficiencies exist, the intestines won't be able to function properly. Could the problem be as simple as an undetected nutrient deficiency? It's possible that the solution isn't in what you need to eat more of, but in what your body truly needs to function well. Now, let's dive a bit deeper into one of the main culprits: thiamine, or vitamin B1. You might not have heard much about it, but believe me, this little vitamin plays a huge role in our body's functioning, especially when it comes to the intestines. Thiamine is essential for ensuring that our nerves and muscles communicate efficiently. Think of it as a phone line connecting the brain to the digestive muscles. Without this smooth communication, the intestines simply can't perform the movement needed to push waste out of the body. A lack of thiamine disrupts this connection, resulting in a sluggish, slow-moving intestine that can't do its job. Now, here's the curious part. Why are so many of us deficient in thiamine? The problem might be closer than we think. Diets high in refined carbohydrates, like white bread, pasta, and sweets, can deplete this essential vitamin. Alcohol not only destroys thiamine, but also prevents its absorption. And stress? It rapidly depletes this vitamin, leaving the body even more vulnerable. But it doesn't stop there. If you're not eating foods rich in thiamine, such as lean meats, whole grains, and legumes, your body simply can't replace what's being lost. So, you might be stuck in a vicious cycle without realizing it. The more refined carbs, alcohol, and stress you have, the more thiamine you lose, and the harder it becomes for your intestines to function normally. Could the key to solving your constipation be something as simple as adjusting the amount of thiamine in your diet? If thiamine is the messenger between nerves and muscles, magnesium is the master of action in the intestines. It's there, behind the scenes, ensuring that the intestinal muscles can contract and relax at the right rhythm. Without this coordinated action, things simply stop moving. Literally. Magnesium is responsible for keeping this movement constant and efficient. Think of the intestines as a wave. It needs contraction to push the stool forward and relaxation to make room for the next movement. If magnesium is lacking, this wave slows down or even stagnates. The result? Constipation. And surprisingly, magnesium deficiency is more common than we think. This happens partly because of diets high in calcium but low in magnesium. Often, we consume foods fortified with calcium or take supplements, thinking we're doing something good for our bones. However, if we don't balance this with enough magnesium, we end up impairing other vital functions of the body, including the intestines. Now, here's the good news. Supplementing with magnesium can bring relief in 1 or 2 weeks. By providing the body with the magnesium it needs, you'll be helping your intestinal muscles get back to moving properly. And it's not a change that takes months to notice. The impact can be seen in just a few days. So, could what's missing from your routine be just an extra dose of magnesium? Could such a simple solution really get your digestive system back on track? Many who suffer from chronic constipation have found that restoring magnesium levels made their bathroom visits more regular, and the discomfort disappeared. So, how can we restore balance in our body and give the intestines the support they need? The solutions are closer than you might think: thiamine and magnesium supplements. But it's important to understand the right way to do this. For example, thiamine supplementation can be a game changer. It's recommended to take between 3 to 5 milligrams per dose, especially with meals containing carbohydrates. Why? Because thiamine is directly involved in carbohydrate metabolism, and by consuming both together, you enhance absorption and maximize benefits. If your diet has been high in refined carbohydrates, as mentioned earlier, supplementing with thiamine might be the first step to restoring good intestinal function. And what about magnesium? This is a mineral that requires a bit more attention in choosing the right form. Magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate are particularly effective for the intestines because they are better absorbed by the body and cause less digestive discomfort, unlike other forms of magnesium that have a laxative effect. The recommendation is to start with at least 300 milligrams daily, adjusting based on your body's needs. Now, here's the important question. Could these small changes really transform the way your body functions? The intestines are often called the second brain for a reason. They influence everything from mood to daily energy. So by correcting these deficiencies, you might not only relieve constipation, but also feel an overall improvement in well-being. The key is to test and observe. By supplementing consistently and appropriately, you're likely to notice a significant difference within the first few weeks. More regular digestion, less discomfort, and finally, that missing feeling of lightness. Although supplementing thiamine and magnesium can bring great improvements, it's important to remember that constipation is not always caused by just one thing. There may be other factors at play that, if ignored, could continue to affect your well-being. If, even after adjusting your diet and supplementing the right nutrients, constipation still persists, it might be time to consult a doctor. Sometimes, the body needs a deeper analysis to determine if something more serious is going on. Issues like chronic digestive disorders or underlying conditions may require specialized medical attention. In summary, the solution to constipation might be closer than you think. By focusing on something as simple as correcting deficiencies in thiamine and magnesium, you could unlock a path to more efficient digestion and, above all, overall well-being. Remember, the body is a complex machine, and small imbalances, such as the lack of these essential nutrients, can have a big impact on your digestive system's functioning. Imagine finally getting rid of that constant discomfort, the bloating and sluggishness, feeling your body light and working harmoniously again. Constipation doesn't have to be a constant battle. Small changes can lead to big results. However, it's important to remember that every body is unique. What works for one person might not work for another. If constipation persists, don't hesitate to seek medical advice. After all, taking care of your digestive system is an investment in your quality of life. With attention to the right details and necessary adjustments, you can achieve the long-awaited relief, and along with it, a renewed sense of health and well-being. If you found this video helpful, please like and share to spread the message. Leaving a comment with your biggest takeaway would also mean a lot to me. And don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on my latest content. Thank you very much for watching. Now go take care of your intestines. Wishing you happy and healthy bowel movements.